we cannot simply reach to the understanding of cultural critical discourse analysis without decoding two words, which are discursive strategies and cultural codes, because entire building of cultural discourse analysis is built on the use of these words in unearthing the meanings of various texts. Here I'll just try to explain what do they mean by it. The practitioners of cultural critical discourse analysis employ both these terms quite repeatedly. They aim to understand the abuse of various powers, ideologies in a society through cultural codes, and they try to look into this through by decoding certain discursive strategies. So in this way, our CCDA aims to expose the specific discursive strategies that enable the exclusion or symbolic annihilation of certain social objects. How systematically, through cultural discourse or culture code, certain elements are reduced or marginalized or even abolished in a certain society. In order to understand this further, you might look certain examples in your own life also. If you are a grown-up person of about 18 to 20 years old, or maybe more than that, you would be able to understand, and you might have shared this with your friends many times in your life, that a lot of things have changed in life. The meanings of many things would have changed to you. Maybe the meaning of dressing may have changed to you. In your childhood, you might think a certain thing more likable, suitable for you, and you might find comfortable in a certain kind of dress. When grown up, you would probably be feeling comfortable with a different kind of dress. So the cultural element of dress has changed for you, has changed meaning for you in one way or the other. So there are many things which keep on changing for us in the society culturally. If we just notice them, they have a bearing on our personality. They keep on creating and recreating meanings for us and others who matter to us. Then we can see strategy is a kind of a process through which ends are related to means. How certain goals are achieved and what kind of means have to be used to achieve those means. This is what we call strategy. It also looks into how intentions are related to capabilities, or objectives are related to resources. So strategy involves both ends and means. So what is a specific goal that needs to be achieved, and what kind of tools would be used to achieve those goals? So this is what we call strategy. Similarly, to a certain power relation or ideology in a society, we also employ certain tools or strategies in our society, and CCDA intends to look into those tools or strategies employed by people to get their certain means or goals, to get their certain objectives in general. There can be many strategies which are used in various kinds of discourses to achieve social or cultural goals. In order to elaborate it in a certain way, I would just like to talk about two strategies, which are normalization and estrangement. Normalization focuses on normalizing an act which generally is not liked. For example, if you look at a certain discourse where an act like war is normalized, war is no in general life, in daily life, or in our life of sensibility, we would never like war as a phenomena, and we would never like to see war. But in certain situation, it is presented in a way, in a heroic way, that people may start liking it. It is shown that it has become compulsory for us to fight a war. Therefore, people start believing in the power of war. when we do it, what kind of strategies are generally used? People would like to talk about the heroism in a war of individuals, of certain army men, or certain other individual, instead of talking about the horrific things, the terrible things that occur during a war. And in this way, they make war look like a more acceptable phenomena. For example, when talking about war, people may talk about the army men or their bravery in that war, so that people start cherishing the heroship instead of criticizing a certain government or criticizing a certain institution for waging a war. Similarly, this estrangement is a strategy which is quite opposite to normalization. And in estrangement, we make or the speaker or author can make a certain normal act look strange to the people. It takes things at a distance. For example, we all love peace. Every human being in the normal sense would like to live a peaceful life. But sometimes by a certain author or speaker, a political demagogue, or a leader, peace may be presented as an option of cowardness, an option which actually challenges our national integrity, pride, and honor. So they would try to urge you to go for war and do not look for the option of peace, because war has become compulsory. So peace, which is the most likable, most loved option, is ignored, is estranged for the general public. So these strategies are used to achieve certain purposes culturally, and CCDA looks into various kinds of rhetorics or discourses in which such strategies are employed to achieve some hideous goals. In this way, we can say that CCDA looks into certain discursive means which are used to achieve certain goals, social goals. Discursive means can be certain metaphors, narratives, or frames to promote certain specific goals. For example, political agenda, or a certain support for a certain government policy. So in this way, in short, we can say that strategies are employed, various discursive strategies are employed to present our own point of view in a way which become likable for the people. Then cultural codes can be considered as a compact package of shared values, norms, ethos, and social beliefs, and they are available in every society. We all live in a kind of society and which has certain shared values and ethos. These packages of meaning can appear as historical events with which most of us are familiar with or relate to, as we relate to our independence in 1947. We relate to the wars we fought with various countries, some national days of celebration. We relate to certain events. Winning Cricket World Cup in 1992 is an event which most of sports lovers in Pakistan cherish. So every nation has certain events, historical events, which make their overall national characteristic. Then it can also include geographical sites or national heroes and heroines. Interestingly, certain concepts of heroship are very important to understand the overall nature of a society. What kind of heroes a nation makes can help us reflecting into their deep social making. Therefore, what is being cherished or valued in a society can also be assessed from their heroes and heroines. Understanding a cultural code value is equivalent to decoding it. What kind of value a society associates with it actually shows the power of its meaning. Culture codes can be repeated constantly in various contexts and combinations. They may not exist in the same combination all the time. They may appear in various combinations in various situations, and they'll reflect and reveal a society or a certain community's common sense, what they agree upon. Therefore, they can help us look deep into a society's overall making and their sociocultural views.